Hi, Nick Hurd here from construction-estimating.com with 7 secrets you can use to estimate faster, more accurately, and make money job after job. Today we're talking about secret number 1, which is make it measurable. And what I mean by that is if you were, for example, for example, trying to fit a board into a space, you wouldn't look at the space and say, yeah, that's about 42 inches, and then go over and look at the board and say, that's about 42 inches, and cut it off. Unless you're the luckiest guy on earth, it ain't going to fit, and you know that. So if you wouldn't cut a board that way and ruin material, why would you estimate that way? You know, so many people, I call this guesstimating rather than estimating, and so many people will go out and look at a job and they see an 8-foot wall, for example, and they say, yeah, this is going to take about a day to put it up and about $100 in materials. And a couple days later or a week later, they'll go out and look at another job that's a 12-foot wall and say, that's going to be about a day's labor and about $100 or maybe $110 to do it. Well, you know, that's guesstimating. You have no way, if you make money on that or if you lose money on that, you have no way of duplicating that. And the whole idea is that you measure things. So on the 8-foot wall, you would say, you know, you would have standards. You would say, you know, on a 2x4 wall, and I'm making numbers up here, by the way. Don't these numbers are meaningless. The actual numbers are, you know, what you do. You know, let's say you figure it takes 15 minutes per linear foot of wall to do a 2x4 wall, and let's say it costs $2 in materials per linear foot. So you go out and look at an 8-foot wall, and that's 8 times a quarter is 2 hours to put the wall up, and if I said $2 a foot for materials, so you got $16 in materials. So you have a number there that you can say when you go to look at a 12-foot wall or a 15-foot wall or a 20-foot wall, you can say, I know how much it's going to cost me to do that. And by the way, one of the things that a lot of people don't think of is they say, well, you know, it's $100 in materials, but they don't think of the profit. You know, you should be paid for the expense of, you know, going to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you're going and picking up the materials, bringing them to the job. So if it's $100 in materials, you really should be charging at least $115 and probably $120 for that. Always add your markup, and that's true for your labor as well. You know, because you got taxes, insurance, and you know, Social Security, and all those good things. So don't forget the profit when you're doing that. So pause here. So, like I say, don't forget the profit when you're doing it. And this is Nick Hurd from construction-estimating.com. You can get more information on the 7 secrets at construction-estimating.com/7secrets. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for number 2.